Hey, what's going on, guys? Geek Hustle is coming back at you with another figure review, and this time we're going back to statues. We're bringing it back, the figurines. No more articulated figures for now because, yep, that stuff costs money. So, moving on to figurines, and we're getting started with a Dragon Ball Z figurine. Of course, what better way to start off than my boy Trunks? So, of course, as you can see right here, this comes from the BWFC banpresto World Figure Coliseum line of figures. And the person, if you collect these figures, you'll know that certain people who sculpt these types of figures are on the side of the box, and the one who sculpted this figure is Eric Sosa. You can see his video on YouTube, seeing how he came about sculpting this figure, where he got his inspiration, stuff like that. And his cell looks kind of weird to me, man. It doesn't look bad. I might actually buy it, but it's very stylized. His cell is definitely stylized. I wouldn't say it's weird. It only looks weird to us because we're not used to seeing cell like that. So I see what he was doing. I definitely have respect for the dude's work. What he did with the trunks, it's good, but there's a few problems we're gonna have to talk about later on in the review. This is definitely solid. This is one of my favorite pieces in my entire collection. It's not a bad figurine at all, and I definitely enjoy collecting from the BWFC line more than the regular generic Super Saiyan Goku, from the banpresto line of manufactured figures that they just keep on crapping out, man. Like, I get why they keep doing it. I understand why. I mean, Goku sells, but I'm just not a fan of those regular generic, cookie cutter McDonald's Super Saiyan Goku figures, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Broly, Vegito, Gogeta. I'm so sick and tired of seeing an overabundance of those. But I understand why, man. It's because of that Broly movie, Dragon Ball Heroes, the games, like Fighters and Xenoverse and whatnot, and Dragon Ball Super, stuff like that. So we're gonna continue to be on that diarrhea method when it comes to our Dragon Ball, statues and figures. They're gonna keep on doing more of the same characters, only in different poses. How I deal with this, I just don't buy them. I only cherry pick and get the ones that personally resonate with me, the ones that I personally like. So, quick history lesson before I finish my rambling, with my man Trunks being my favorite Dragon Ball Z character. Well, my second favorite Dragon Ball Z character. Gohan is still my favorite, of course, but yeah, Trunks. I first got into his character way back in the day when I saw the History of Trunks special. That was when I really started getting into Trunks. I already thought he was pretty cool when he showed up, killed Frieza, slashed him in half, cut his pieces up, and obliterated those pieces with a key blast. I thought that was cool. Growing up, that scene was popular, but and it still is. I wasn't really into Trunks, not yet. I thought he was cool. I thought he was interesting, but you had to do more than just like have a huge body count if you wanted to interest me, like as a fan. Like I wasn't just into the whole killing aspect. I was more into Dragon Ball Z for the story back then as a kid. Even though the story is kind of a mess now, back then that was my main motivation for Dragon Ball, man. I just wanted to see these characters grow through this journey, man, and that was the main thing that interested me, and it still does today. So, yeah. After I really started to get to know Trunks, after I started seeing his backstory, seeing his motivations, why he wanted to save his future, his reasonings for wanting to kill Cell, and preventing the transformation of Perfect Cell, yeah, man, I was really invested into that story. And Trunks was an easy character to root for, obviously. I mean, you can't help but like Trunks, so what is there to hate about him? What is there to hate? He's not a douche like his father. And it made sense at the time. Vegeta, he was going through a phase at that time, man. Thankfully, he learned. He ain't like that no more. He matured. But anyway, that's Vegeta. Moving on to Trunks. That's pretty much how I feel about the character. I got into him from History of Trunks. And, yeah, that was pretty much it. And I played as him in every single Dragon Ball Z game ever since that day. So going in on the actual figurine itself, the sculpt is going off of a particular illustration done by Toriyama years ago. I remember it was like Trunks sitting down and he was like propping up his sword. So getting the cons out of the way, this is a little bit more different compared to figures. Oh yeah, and I might as well show you the base. I'm not putting him on his base since he doesn't like sit all the way on it. But here's the okay. Here's the BWFC base, which you don't really need. He sits down just fine. Plus, he doesn't even sit all the way down on this, so don't need that. Uh, Going in on the sculpt itself, it gotta say it looks really impressive. I'm quite impressed by how Mr. Sosa did his work. Of course, it's not perfect because there's this one small part that looks kind of strangely sculpted. I don't know why he did it like this. I don't know if it's just mine, but yeah, there are only like two strands of hair on the ponytail for some reason, and you know that looks kind of weird to me. I don't know why it's done like that, but from the side it looks better, but well, a little bit more better. From the back, it looks weird. I really don't like looking at that, but you know, from the side, from a distance, it's fine. And yeah, I like how he did the dirt, how he put the dirt on the pants. I like how he included the rips on the knees of the pants, and the sculpt of the boots looks really, really good. It definitely stands out to me. Not only that, the sculpt of the concealed sword looks really good. Not only that, the color is also really clean. There aren't really a bunch of like paint marks and bad QC errors on here. There are like little scratches on the scabbard that he included right here. I wish he included a little bit more, but you know, it still looks good. That's just a small nitpick, man. And I like how he's gripping the sword as well. I just wish that his knee was raised a little bit more higher. His head needs to be turned out a little bit more. And the he got the arm position right, and the leg needs to be you know, put down just a few centimeters below. But those are like little nitpicks, man. I'm not gonna fault Eric Sosa for that at all, since I do like his passion. And not only that, he did put a lot of work into this figurine. When I was looking at the documentary, it did look like he truly cared about what he was putting together. He didn't just like slap something together and say, boom, Trunks figure. No, I got respect for the dude. There are like these small little microscopic blue paint dots. I don't know if you can see those, but you know, they don't really hinder the look of the figure at all, really. I honestly don't mind them. I don't care if they're there. So, you know, I'll let that slide. I can hardly see them. And the wrinkles on the sleeves also look really, really, really good. I also like how this little rock is sculpted that he's sitting on right here. And, you know, objectively, the sculpt is just done really consistently well, man. You can see the wrinkles on the pants, like I said before. The dirt also complements the look of the figure. I like how the tears look on the knees. The wrinkles on the jacket is done really, really well. Really consistent all the way through. There are no paint errors on the jacket whatsoever. Every every detail was completely captured in each part of the figure, man. Especially when it comes to the hair, which isn't 100% perfect. Since for some reason on mine, one of his hair strands is kind of bent to the side, just a tad bit, just a little bit, not too much. But you know, that could just be you know, packaging error. That's not anything I'm gonna fault Eric Sosa for. That's just how the figure came out when I unboxed him. I also got this at GameStop for 20 something dollars. Do I still got a price tag? Oh, there it is. It was you know, $24.99. Honestly, would have paid like 20, but you know, $5 extra, that's nothing. So yeah, the face is also extremely accurate to my man Trunks. Looks exactly as it should. And not, like I said earlier, not many QC control errors. When it comes to statues and figurines, there's not a huge amount to talk about. I remember there was a Sonic the Hedgehog Diamond Select statue figure review that I had done, and that was so dragged out, man. Not a bad review. I just think that review was way too long and really should have just been 9 to 10 minutes long. I'm not going to delete that video at all. I'm still going to leave it up on the channel, obviously, for y'all to watch. But, you know, that figure review is kind of, just dragged out, man. Here, I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and simple for this one. I will give these sculpts, like, in, I'll give the sculpt, like, 9 out of 10. It's not 100%, you know, 8.5 out of 10. It's not 100% perfect. There are a few small problems and errors here and there, but you know, there's really not that much. Kind of like what I discussed before. I wish his head was turned a little bit more to the right, like just to capture the accuracy of that illustration, but it's fine. I actually like it like this, to be honest. Not only that, I wish the knee was raised up just a little bit more. But the small things. 8.5 out of 10 for the sculpt. I will definitely give it that. Uh, and you don't need the base, like I said before. That's pretty much useless. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about the sculpt. That's 8.5 out of 10. And the statue overall, I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10. This is definitely one of my favorite pieces, but objectively, this is one of the most consistently sculpted BWFC figures from that particular line that you're going to find. Do I recommend this? I think it's very obvious. If you're a huge Trunks fan, definitely. If you're not a Trunks fan, still get it because, it's kind of weird if you're starting a Dragon Ball Z collection and you don't have at least 1 or 2 Trunks figures in your collection, man. I'm just saying. But anyway, that's about it. Final score, 8.5 out of 10. If you want, I will wait until the price goes down just a little bit more. So that's all I got for y'all today on Geek Hustlers. Post comments down below if you choose to. Hit the notification bell and subscribe for more if you want. Geek Hustlers out. That's all I got for you today. See you next time.